Let the record reflect that this meeting was posted as required by the Texas Open Meetings Act. We do have a quorum tonight. We're all here. And at this time, I'd like to ask everyone to, let's take a moment of silence if we could. Okay, thank you very much. And at this time, I'd ask Mr. Strubhart to come forward and with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Mr. President, trustees, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. Tonight's pledge will be led by Desalee Ray Delgadillo. Desalee is a 5th grade student at Sam Houston Elementary Dual Language Academy. She currently serves, Desalee, come on, get over here. She currently serves as a student council representative for her class and has served as a student council representative in 4th grade as well. Desalee is in UIL listening skills. She is also a member of the Sam Houston Mighty Eagle Choir and has been since 2nd grade. She is a member of Sam Houston Elementary Girl Scout Troop. She has been listed on the Soaring Eagle and Mighty Eagle honor rolls throughout her elementary career. And in addition to her school endeavors, she's a cheerleader for Legacy Cheer. Her parents are Valerie and Juan Delgadillo III. Ladies and gentlemen, Desalee Delgadillo. Right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. ABC.
Thank you, Desalee. That was really nice. You've got quite a few accomplishments for somebody your age. What a great future. Thank you. Okay, the next item we're going to take out of order. We're going to move to item number 8, matters related to curriculum and instruction. And the first item is the signing of the letter of intent for expansion of the HCISD and University of Texas Rio Grande Valley partnership to create high school to medical school program. Mrs. Corton.
Mr. Powers, Board of Trustees, Dr. Cavazos, Administration, and Audience. I am elated to be here this evening to be able to bring forward a letter of intent for the expansion of our partnership with UTRGV, a monumental night where we will sign a letter of intent to create a high school to medical school program at our Harlingen School of Health Professions. So this is in partnership with our School of Medicine at UTRGV, great champions for what we do. So the intent of our high school to medical school program will be to prepare students to matriculate into a medical school. And before we can do that, of course, this program will prepare them with a strong work ethic. We will bring them into the medical community at UTRGV and make sure that as they are graduating from School of Health Professions, that they have indeed a clear path to medical school. We're really excited, and joining us here tonight are a few of our representatives. At this time, I would like to welcome Dr. Dean Kraus. He is our Dean of the School of Medicine at UTRGV.
Thank you, Veronica, Mr. Powers, Dr. Cavazos, trustees. It's a pleasure to be here. Very thrilled to be able to talk about the program that we have agreed to create. I wanted to acknowledge some of my colleagues from UTRGV. I have Dr. Michael Laker, who's our Dean of the College of Health Professions here this evening. I have Dr. Saraswathi Nair, who is chair of our Department of Biomedical Sciences. And I have Sofia Hernandez, who's our Chief of Staff in the Division of Health Affairs. We're really excited about this opportunity because one of the things we want to do at UTRGV, and especially in the School of Medicine, is to provide an opportunity for students from the Valley to go through university, to go through medical school, to go through residency training, and then to stay in the Valley to practice medicine. This is our primary vision at the School of Medicine. And many of you have worked for many years, both through the RAC with UTESCA and now with us at UTRGV to make this happen. In this program, what we will do is work closely with your students in your college, high school program, your health professions high school program, to bring them in early, to get them counseling and direction early in their career in school, and to matriculate them into our baccalaureate degree, our Bachelor of Science degree in Biomedical Sciences that's led by Dr. Nair. This is a statewide renowned program which has a tremendous curriculum in biomedical sciences leading to the medical school, and then provide them a pathway where through counseling and guidance we can bring them directly into admission in the medical school. This is quite an important task for us because we were talking earlier, we had 6,500 applicants for 50 spots this year. So that gives you the competitiveness of the program in only our third year. And by doing this kind of a program, we can identify talented young students in high school, bring them through university, bring them to medical school, and graduate them. So what we're creating tonight is a unique program in partnership with the Harlingen Consolidated Independent School District to take your brightest students and direct them in a career where they can become your physicians in the future. And in 10 to 15 years, they'll be taking care of you. And that's what we want. We want the students to be able to do that. So I'm thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled that my colleagues at the university have come together to work with the school district in this program, and we look forward to this collaboration over the next years. Thank you very much.
Mr. Powers and Board, the administration recommends the signing of the letter of intent to expand our partnership with UTRGV.
Mr. President, Mr. President, I move approval of expansion of the HCISD and or the letter of intent for the expansion of the HCISD and University of Texas Rio Grande Valley partnership to create the high school to medical school program as presented.
Second the motion.
It's been moved by Dr. Pettis, seconded by Dr. Muniz. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
I'm going to ask Dr. Kraus to join you, Dr. Cavazos, and Mr. Powers for the signing of the letter of intent.
Thank you again. Thank you. We're very excited. Thank you.
Such a privilege. Sure. Put my eyes on him.
That's awesome.
One of the signatures right here in the center, and we're going to take one photo with three of you, and we're going to pull all of you out here in a second. Okay. And we're going to look at Roland here for a photo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is wonderful.
Sure. All right, can we get everyone out? Real quick with Nolan,
Yes.
and then we're going to come out.
Yes.
Stand.
One more time.
quickly.
Oh,
Is
okay,
it-
got it.
Yes, thank you.
So if you're gonna bring your team.
Yeah, I will. We'll take a group photo. That'll be great.
How you been?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, all right. Roll it first. He's right, it is, it's tradition. All right.
And Greg told him you always gonna make some comments. Yeah, well, it's the first time, it's the first they signed it. Yeah. You got one more? Oh, sure, let's get in there. Here, pass this one over here, sir. And Melon, you tip too.
What's that? Oh, sorry.
That's yours.
Oh, all that for you. Yeah.
Nobody, it's like,
You know, no one still has a good gavel.
Mr.
Okay. I'm sure
Mr. President.
the board wants to make a few comments. Dr. Pettis.
Sure, thank you, Mr. President. So, I just want to say to the crowd, to the folks here today and folks in our TVs out there watching tonight and maybe in the future, that this truly is historic because, not a lot of people realize the significance of UTRGV and what it's done for this region. Really, it's our first regional, successful regional project. And it's pretty much unprecedented in America to have not only the creation of a university in such a way with a distributive campus model, it actually created, if you remember, to allow us access to the Permanent University Fund. They merged two existing universities, UT Pan American in Edinburgh and UT Brownsville, and to create a new university. And at the same time, started a School of Medicine. That's an unprecedented thing in higher education in America. That I can assure you, especially in a distributive campus model. Very difficult undertaking, and Dr. Bailey has done a remarkable job. We have an amazing visionary dean now of our School of Medicine, Jack Krauss, who's doing a remarkable job at bringing the area together around sort of what we're trying to do, which is really transform the delivery of healthcare and also the delivery of medical education. I can assure you, because I've had medical students rotate with me, that our medical students are on par with medical students anywhere in America. And in fact, some of the medical students turn down spots at Baylor and Southwestern to come to this School of Medicine. We have incredible students here, very talented. And as of right now, about 30% of them, don't quote me on that, but it's pretty close, I think, are students from the Valley, from here. We hope that number goes up, but it's up to us, public schools, and it's up to the UTRGV, which is we're doing our part in creating that alignment to create that pipeline so that we can create our own homegrown health professionals here in the Valley. And that's what it's all about, as Dean Krauss mentioned. We're going to create our own homegrown health professionals, and it's going to be, I mean, that's what the UTRGV was meant to do, right? Just like other universities transform other regions in the state and the country, that's what we have here. And I want everybody to look at this, you know, from an abundance perspective, abundance mentality. I do believe we'll have a campus eventually here in Harlingen as well, and the campus is going to grow, not only in Edinburgh, but also in Brownsville and in every parts in between. Dr. Krauss has already been busy putting clinics up all over the Valley. You've probably seen the signs and UT Health signs all over. So this is really a transformative undertaking. But I do want to applaud, again, Dr. Bailey and Dr. Krauss for this partnership, because really far too long, education has been working in silos, right? Where everybody's, you do your thing, higher ed, you do your thing, community college, you do your thing, you know, pre-K through 12. And really, that is really only going to give you little pockets of success and limited success. We're only going to get to where we need to in this region, and if we have a collective impact approach and we break down those silos and all work together. That's why I think this is a very symbolic signing today, and I know that it'll continue under your leadership, Dean. But we're really excited that our kids are going to be in the front of line of opportunity in UTRGV and of course for the School of Medicine. And so I applaud you once again for your leadership and your vision. Please pass along to Dr. Bailey that we really are appreciative of his leadership as well, and his trust in our leader, Dr. Cavazos. We have a trailblazer of a superintendent, the best in the state. Thank you for your trust in our community. We always believe that great communities come together to support public schools, and Harlingen has an amazing community. So we appreciate your trust in us, and we're not going to let you down. So thank you very much.
Mrs. Florio.
Thank you so much. As a, I think I figured 5-generation family in South Texas, I would like to reflect to some of our newcomers just how long we have waited for something like this. This is a moment in time that will become legendary, and I think that it is worth noting how long we have waited for this, and we have waited for you specifically to come help us with this. And Dr. Cavazos, we have waited for you and for the leadership and for the people that we have employed in our district and throughout your university as well. But I was mentioning not too long ago to, I think, Nolan and Bobby, that in 2005, my father, who was in the last year of his life, almost 100 years old, who was himself a scientist, sat in a wheelchair and looked out across the street from Golden Palms to what was the RAC at that time, the Regional Academic Health Center. And he actually made a prescient remark. And he said, as I look across, Jerry, this street, he said, I realize it will be health care and education that will be the making of this valley. And I remember thinking, oh, Daddy, I hope so. I so hope so. But the seeds had just barely begun to be planted. And that's not really so very long ago, from 2005 to what you have so rapidly brought to the table. And so it is something, and he has, of his almost 100 years, he was here from the time he was in his early 20s. And so he has been waiting that long to look forward to what really was going to happen. And as he left this earth, he was confident that someone would make this happen. And it would be healthcare and education that would bring this valley together and would be the future of this valley. And so we thank you from the bottom of our hearts, those of us who have been here a very long time, and our brilliant new kids on the block who have been so involved in doing this, have just been able to articulate the transformation of what's going to happen here. And we are so excited. We are thrilled. I also would like to say thank you for trusting us, and thank you for the leadership, Dr. Cavazos, that you have provided that allows that sort of trust. And we can assure you that we trust you. And so thank you so much for what's going to happen here. You have indeed helped realize the dream that education and healthcare would, in fact, be the future of this valley. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I'll be brief. I just want to thank you all again. There was a lot of people over the years that, as Dr. Pettis pointed out, a lot of people, not just from this community, but from the valley, that pushed for UTRGV, for the merger of the two, and there was a lot of, there was some fight to it. There was a lot of struggle, but we're here, and this is why we're here, and I'm just very proud to sit up here and to represent this community, because like Ms. Fleury said, I don't have 5 generations here. I'm a first generation Harlingen resident, but I was born here and I was raised here. And to have our school district, with the leadership that we have, the vision that we have, partnered up with the leadership from UTRGV to be able to provide this opportunity for our students. I see students over here, and any regular school board meeting, you see a bunch of students. I don't know if these guys want to be doctors or not. They want to be something, But my thing has always been, when I have an opportunity to speak to students, is go do what you're going to do, get your education, but consider coming back, because this place is very special. And as Jerry said, that her father said, this is our future, this healthcare and education. And I'm just extremely happy that this is moving forward. We're moving forward with this. So, and I'm glad these young students are here to witness it, because like I said, whether you guys are wanting to be doctors or not, this is a big deal. You guys were here when it got signed, and we have everything to offer here in the Valley, here in Harlingen, and in Harlingen we're leading the way. And I just want to say congratulations to everybody involved.
Of course, I want to echo all the remarks that have been said, and highlight one thing that Dr. Pettis has mentioned, and that's the open mindset, right? The abundance mentality, because a lot of times we often think about, what about me? What about me? This is a niche area, but if you really think about it from an abundant mentality, open mindset, man, everybody wins in this situation. We raise the bar. There's no losers in this situation. And on top of that, we're paving the way. It's all about, if you look at your top achievers throughout the world, it's all about relationships. Every single one of them comes down to relationships. And that's exactly what we're doing here. So thank you for trusting us. We trust you, and we are super excited. And of course, I was born and raised here, and it's so amazing to see this happening in Harlingen with the partnership with UTRGV. Thank you very much.
I just want to echo some of the comments. One thing that you said, Dean Krauss, that really struck me was that we want to keep our talent here in the Valley, and we want them to be treating us in the next 10 to 15 years. And I also grew up here and raised here, and through the years, I've seen so much of our talent leave the Valley. They go to college and they don't come back. And but what I have seen in the last 2 or 3 years, because of UTRGV, we honor the top 10 students every year at a banquet, top 10%. And I see our brightest kids, because they get up and they tell everybody where they're going to go next year. And more are staying home and going to UTRGV. And they're going to stay here and make our Valley great, and our medical profession. So thank you so much for this program. Thank you for trusting us. And we're just so excited about it. Thank you.
So just a couple of comments. As the superintendent of schools, this is an incredible moment in time. And I think that for those of us that have been here for many years, we realize that it's moments in time that become movements. And it takes individuals to come to the table and say, it can be done. You often will hear me say that the students are waiting for the adults to get it right. And it takes the adults, we are responsible for that, setting it in motion. And it cannot be done and sometimes people oversee this part of the organization. This is not possible without a very committed and dedicated and strong-willed and always looking for opportunities for kids from our Board of Trustees. So I'd like to thank them for providing the leadership as well and pushing this organization to even get better and better and better. So let's give them an applause as well. So we realize, Dean, that you have a big task ahead of you. And you need to know that we in Harlingen CISD stand ready to assist you in your endeavors. We want the medical school to be successful. We want our students to be in the front of the line of opportunities, but we can't just say those words. We need to put them into action. And tonight, we took an idea and put it into action. The real work now begins to ensure that our kids are very well prepared. We don't expect anybody to give our kids anything. They are hard workers. They're going to put their best foot forward. What we do want is for our kids to be given opportunities. And tonight, Dean, you've blazed a new trail for us and your entire staff. And so for that, I'm forever grateful as the superintendent of schools. I truly am honored and humbled to serve in that role. But I realize that our dreams are becoming memories. We're creating memories in what we're doing in HCISD. We're not going to look back and say, we should have done, we could have done, and we would have done things. We're getting it done. So thank you. I appreciate the partnership, and thank everybody that's here, because it is a moment in time that's going to become a movement. We'll look back and see that it allowed it to transform our district. So thank you very much.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is going to be the awards and recognitions. And Brianna Vela Garcia, the PTSA Students of the Month for December. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. I'm excited to continue the excitement of this evening by introducing you all to our December PTSA Students of the Month. They proudly represent Harlingen High School, Harlingen High School South, Early College High School, and Harlingen School of Health Professions. Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather. Their stories are told by a talented group of our Media Arts and Communications Academy students, so we hope you all enjoy this video.
My name is Laura McManus. I am a senior at Harlingen High School. I'm involved in many activities both inside and out of school. Inside school, I am the mascot. I am Big Red, and I'm also the captain of the varsity tennis team. In addition to that, I'm an NHS and PTSA. Outside of school, I am involved in 4-H, where I am the president of the Cameron County Council, and I'm also a district officer on the district council as well. Something that I am passionate about is the development of people's leadership abilities or their education at the same time, which is something I really like about 4-H, is that it's a leadership development program that also is an opportunity to learn a lot about different aspects of life and different things you might want to go into. And I think that's very important, no matter who you are or where you come from, that you continue to develop and grow as a person. Next year I will be attending Texas A&M University in College Station, and I plan to major in architectural engineering.
My name is Ezra Menchaca, and I'm a senior at Harlingen High School. I'm involved in many activities. I'm in NHS, PTSA, Key Club, Student Advisory Board, Chick-fil-A Leadership Academy, and Flag Crew. I'm most passionate about the field of dentistry. Ever since I was little, I was always mesmerized by that field, and having family members working in that field has influenced me a lot and made me fall in love with that profession. And being in a practicum at HHS, the dental assisting class, I have learned so much that I never knew a couple years back. I plan to either go to St. Edward's University or UT Austin, and I plan to major in biology or public health. And for St. Edward's, I'd most likely minor in pre-dental.
My name is Jay Garcia, and I'm a senior at Harlingen South. I'm involved in Boy Scouts. I'm currently working on my Eagle Scout project. I'm working on finishing it up. I'm involved in Chick-fil-A Leadership Academy here at Harlingen South, football, soccer, orchestra, and PTSA. Well, for me, recently, I've picked up photography. That's really something I'm passionate about. My dream is to open my own photography studio. I plan on going to UT-RGV and doing my basics, then transferring out to UT at Austin and finishing up a degree in criminology.
Hello, my name is Victor Yanu, and I'm a senior at Harlingen High School South. So I'm involved in the Boy Scouts of America, and my troop is 1701. And during my time as a Boy Scout, I've earned the rank of Eagle Scout, as well as held the highest leadership position in the troop, the senior patrol leader. Along with that, I am the captain of the varsity tennis team here at South. We finished the year with a state ranking of 15. And lastly, I'm the vice president of the National Honor Society chapter of our school. So ever since I was young, I've had a passion for medicine and helping other people. And my goal later on in life is to become a practicing physician. My parents have definitely been the people that have pushed me the most throughout my high school. I really look up to them, especially my mom, who is a physician, and really inspired me to pursue a medical career. So I plan on attending Rice University next year and focusing on a pre-med track, maybe majoring in biological science and doing a good amount of undergrad research.
My name is Abigail Lozano. I attend Early College High School. I am a senior. I'm in music club. I'm the president. I'm also in National Honor Society, Student Council, and Drama Club. My dream is to become a doctor. I'm really passionate about science, and I want to find a cure for a disease. So my dad's a nurse, and he inspired me to go into the medical field. I want to save people's lives, and I want to contribute to my community. So music club, we do performances at school, and I'm in charge of facilitating them. I'm also in charge of picking people to sing and do performances such as the guitar, the bass, and the drums. And we do this during Christmas time and Thanksgiving. It's really fun. I plan on going to UT-RGV. I really want to do the biomedical science program there. They offer so much, and I want to be involved in research.
I am Kadena Garza, and I am a senior at Early College High School. I am currently the parliamentarian for Student Council, Drama Club, Class Cabinet, and I am also a part of the National Honor Society. I'm passionate about math, which is why I want to become a math teacher. I know here in the Rio Grande Valley, the students don't have much privilege, so I want to make a difference and bring mathematics into it. I want to become a mathematics teacher because it's been a dream of mine ever since I was a little girl. I remember getting little toys and just pretending to be teaching to them. In 8th grade, my mathematics teacher, I just really liked how she taught and how she projected herself, and I just fell in love with the subject, which is why I want to become a math teacher. I am passionate about math, which is why I want to pursue a career in in the engineering field and become a mathematics teacher. I am planning on continuing my journey with the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley and pursuing a degree in civil engineering.
My name is Kayla Sadler, and I'm a senior at the Harlingen School of Health Professions. I'm involved in chess club, where I'm the treasurer, which I balance the money and make sure that we have enough money for activities and for competitions and stuff. I'm involved in the audio video club at school, where I'm the vice president. I help organize competitions and make sure everyone's ready to compete. And I'm the district officer for Skills USA of District 13B. So I'm in charge of the lower Rio Grande Valley for skills. I am very passionate about audio and video, and I actually want to go into audio and video for college and have a future in audio and video. And I became passionate after I took Principles of Audio and Video with Mr. Tovar. I plan on going to the University of British Columbia in Canada, and I plan on majoring in film production and business management. I plan to double major.
My name is Miranda Akana, and I'm a senior at the Harlingen School of Health Professions. I am involved in HOSA, Spanish Club, Robotics, Red Cross Club, and I'm the class president. I'm also the historian of the Red Cross Club, and I'm all very passionate about all of the clubs I'm involved in because we do a lot of things in the community. My dream is to become a nurse, and I'm most passionate about giving back to the community in any way I can, whether it be volunteering on my time off or going to practicum during the week. What inspired me to pursue nursing was seeing my family. They struggle with a lot of health issues, and growing up I always had to be the one to step up and take care of them myself. And because I've gotten to the point where I like to do it and it's a real passion of mine, I want to do it for not only my family but for everyone else in my community. I'm planning to attend Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and I want to be in the honors program, which I've just been accepted to, and I would like to study nursing.
We have some pretty awesome students in our district.
Wow. That's right.
If their parents or their grandparents are here, can they stand to be recognized?
Parents.
I'm sure y'all want to watch this again, so it'll be on YouTube starting tomorrow. Is the Harlingen City Council PTSA here? I think they just dropped off their certificate. So Dr. Cavasso and Mr. Powers, if y'all could come forward for a photo. Once I've called your name, students, please remain up here so we can take a group photo together. So from Harlingen High School, we have Laura McManus. From Harlingen High School, we also have Ezra Menchaca. From Harlingen High School South, we have Jacob Garcia. From Harlingen High School South, we also have Victor Ringiyahu. From Early College High School, we have Abigail Lozano. From Early College High School, we also have Kadena Garza. From Harlingen School of Health Professions, we have Kayla Sadler. From Harlingen School of Health Professions, we also have Miranda Gano. I'd like to ask the entire board to come up for a group photo.
We're gonna look at Rowan first. Photo everyone look through here. Hold up, parents.
Parents, thank you for being here. Parents, thank you for being here, and to the students, thanks for all your hard work. You reflect great credit on this district and your family and this community. We're really proud of you. Dr. Ringiano, I'm actually not talking to you, Doc. I'm talking to the younger Doc, Victor.
Victor.
Don't forget, we have a job for you when you finish. We'll still be here because some of us, unlike your mom, some of us are aging. We need help. So.
No pressure, Victor. No pressure.
Mr. President, I just wanted to congratulate all of the students who were recognized, and I was so impressed with the multitude of talents that you come. You're in high school and you're doing all of this work and all of these interests, and I loved that to a person you wanted to make a difference, and you wanted to make a difference in the Valley, and I thank you for that, and I just look forward to seeing what you accomplish. And I wanted to do a little shout out to the young women who were recognized today. Thank you for taking on the challenging topics and the science and the math and the technology and using that and leading in that. I appreciate that, and I know what a big stretch that is, and all of you will be successful. So thank you.
I just want to add, I think all of you were here earlier for the UTRGV partnership agreement that we signed. And these are the kind of kids that we'll be sending into that program. I mean, this is the kind of talent that we have in this school district. And I also want to congratulate the parents. I mean, I don't know if everybody noticed or not, but when we asked the parents to stand, I think the parents of all the kids are here tonight. And I congratulate you, and I think that's a big reason why your involvement is why your kids are so successful. No doubt about it. And just a remarkable group of kids. So thank you all for all you do.
You're welcome to stay for the remainder of the meeting. But,
It's real exciting, too.
Sir, you don't have to say that so sarcastic.
Be like watching the Aggie band. McManus, how many more have you got? How many more have you got? Two?
Two more.
He meant that as a compliment, sir.
Has A&M given you? Has A&M named a wing after your family yet?
We're working on it.
He's one of 9 kids, and all but 2 went to A&M.
One of 9.
They were named and honored at a football game 10 years ago as the family of the
Don't
of the
forget me to
decade.
throw out these jabs that it's being recorded. It's being recorded.
Okay. Enough excitement. All right. Moving on. Some real excitement. The minutes. The minutes of the regular board meeting for November 13, 2018. Do I have a motion?
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the minutes for the November 13th regular board meeting.
Moved by Mr. Hymas. And who's seconding?
Second.
Moved by Dr. Reiniger. Is there any corrections or additions? If there's none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Minutes are passed for that meeting. The next meeting is December the 4th, 2018, our team building workshop, which I thought was really excellent. It was one of the best ones I think we've had.
President, make a motion for approval of the December 4th, 2018 team building workshop.
All right. Moved by Mr. De Leon, seconded by Dr. Muniz. Right? Okay, all right.
Yes.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Minutes are approved unanimously. The next is our principal's report from Ginger Armstrong, Sam Houston Elementary. All right.
Mr. President, trustees, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience, thank you for the opportunity to share about Sam Houston Elementary Dual Language Academy and its community. It's always a pleasure to be able to share some of the wonderful activities that our students experience, that our teachers plan, and that we enjoy so much as being part of the Mighty Eagle family. It's exciting to be able to share with you about our newest journey into providing the very best education for our Mighty Eagle students in being identified as in the candidacy status for the International Baccalaureate PYP program, or IB-PYP.
Can you say that 3 times in a row? Yes.
Sometimes, but not always. So we'll go ahead and get started. So why IB and why IB-PYP? It is a respected, world-recognized program that focuses on developing well-rounded, inquiring learners who, while in a program such as this, will learn in ways that prepare them for on a global scale. This program is very well aligned with what we want as educators for students and very much aligned with what we want here in Harlingen CISD for all of our students. Something that is very important to us, as you can see from our Realizing Our Dream scorecard, is our goal focus. We are very focused on ensuring that we are providing the best education for our students and that we are progressing in ways not only that shows by state standards, but prepares them for futures at secondary, college, and the world beyond. So the thing that we've noticed as we've been learning more and more about International Baccalaureate Primary Years Program, that'll be 2, but not in a row, is that the more that we look at it, the more that we see just how much it does align with the goals that we have in our district and the strategic plan that we have in place. So what is IB-PYP? There are 3 different programs offered by the International Baccalaureate. There is the Primary Years program, which focuses on elementary, and is what we are discussing tonight. They also have a Middle Years program and a Diploma program. The IB-PYP program explores traditional areas of study, such as science and social studies, also math and reading, all the usual traditional subjects, more in a transdisciplinary format. So it's always keeping in mind inquiry and construction of knowledge approaches. We feel that at Sam Houston that we are well prepared for this challenge, given that we have spent the last few years as a dual language academy. So what this has done, that's part of what we see. The Dual Language Academy has given us a background in working with teaching students a second language, a language other than English, which is a component of an IB-PYP program. Also, we've noticed that the multicultural focus that has developed as a result of the dual language program is very much aligned with the philosophy of an IB school. Also, we notice something that is very near and dear to our hearts, as Mrs. Silva, our counselor, can share with you, and any staff member at Sam Houston Elementary can share, our character education and focus on the whole child, and also our programs of community outreach. We really have a desire, our students, our staff, as well as everyone in our community really comes together to reach out to help others. And that is a very strong component of the program, as you will see. Just as we strive for at Sam Houston Elementary, the IB philosophy focuses on the developing children academically, socially, physically, and emotionally, using the learner profile and inquiry-based learning. The program is closely aligned with what we want for each and every student while experiencing our school and throughout their lives. So a lot of times when we're looking at planning lessons and preparing for the upcoming school year, we really consider what we want to learn, how best will we learn, and how will we know what we have learned. So very reflective and honestly, good teaching. That is what we want to see for each and every child to truly prepare them for the future. IB programs promote the education of the whole person, and that is done through the learner profile. The learner profile, as defined by IB, it's the mission statement translated into a set of learning outcomes for the 21st century. So our IB learners, just as our mighty eagles each and every day strive to be, they want to be inquirers, they want to be knowledgeable, thinkers, communicators, principled. It's a very important part. Open-minded, caring, risk-takers, balanced, and reflective. This profile that we look for in learners is what we see to really contribute to a positive global impact in the future. So all of these things are organized through transdisciplinary themes. Everything that we explore at the elementary level in an international baccalaureate program will be through these themes: who we are, where we are in place and time, how we express ourselves, how we organize, how the world works, and sharing the planet. It's interesting when I walk around on campus and talk to students just how concerned they are about how we share the planet, how we impact the planet. This is something that they're very, very interested in. I've heard this for the last 2-3 years in particular. So it's a real focus for our students, and that we know if we grow it and nurture it as they become adults will become a great focus in businesses across the world. Within these themes, approaches to learning are explored, and they're done so through skill sets. So we can tell a student that we want them to be principled, but what does that mean? We want to be sure that we provide them the structure so that they are able to explore and gain those social skills, research skills, thinking skills, communication skills, and self-management skills. So as was mentioned earlier, relationships are highly important. Working with others are a large focus of the program as well. So I think probably one of the best parts of this is just how excited our students are. In conversations with, and our teachers as well, in conversations with students, they want to know if we can invite the whole world to our school. They think it's exciting to become a world school. For our teachers, I hear this sounds a lot like some of the things we are doing. That's quite different than, oh, we're already doing that. It's a very positive outlook. They're connecting what they currently do in the classroom and how we're going to take it to the next level. So at this time, I'd like to show you a short video to share a glimpse of what is happening at our campus. Well, the IB candidacy is a time period in which teachers are learning about what it means to be an international baccalaureate school. So it involves a lot of training, a lot of practice with the students to get ready for the application process.
During the candidate phase, which is the phase we're in right now, the school is given the opportunity to learn everything there is about the IB program, its philosophy, its missions. The school creates its own mission relating to the IB philosophy, and that is done through collaboration between the staff and the learning community, which includes even the parents and the students.
It makes me feel good to be in an IB school, and this is an IB school because it lets every child in, no matter how old they are, 3, 4, or 5, or more.
I think it's important because it doesn't matter what country you're from, schools are schools. Everybody should be the same, everybody's equal. We have some differences, but we're all human beings.
When I think about IB, I think about it really being an experience for students to take learning above and beyond. We have an excellent curriculum here in Harlingen. This will take what is considered traditional subjects, so a lot of times you've seen it seen as separate, reading, math, social studies, and science, but it shows how they're interconnected. So they study them through all of these themes, units of inquiry, and from there we're able to really explore how these subjects work together to solve problems in the world. So we really work a lot on communication skills, we work a lot on listening skills, and all the things that they will need in the future to work to solve not just problems in their community, but also problems throughout the entire world. It's a great opportunity for our students.
So I learned in Spanish words, I learned casa means house, perro means dog, gato means cat.
We learn about Spanish because it helps us communicate with people in different states, countries, and the world. I'd recommend every child in the world because they get to learn new things here, like different languages. Konnichiwa, hello, welcome to Japan.
I think the most important thing that can come from this program, if we are approved and we're able to have a world school in Harlingen CISD, we would have 2, that's very exciting. It's the opportunity for students to become learners that are critical thinkers, problem solvers. They're able to really take their learning and mesh it together in a way that prepares them for high school, for college, and for the workforce beyond, and not just at a national level, but a global level. It's something that really takes into context when they're learning, what are we learning about who we are in the world, not just in your community, not just in your nation, but how is what we are doing impacting our entire global community. And that type of thinking, critical thinking, will really benefit our students. It puts them at a more competitive edge in the workforce in the future. So I'm looking forward to that opportunity for our students.
An IB student is somebody that's is a global thinker and is courageable.
I like being in this school because there's thoughtful kids that help us. It doesn't matter how old they are, all that matters is to be thankful to the world. This is a shout out to all the teachers in the world. Thank you for teaching us all these different things you teach us.
I feel like once the students begin this program, they're going to want to continue into the middle year program, which is the middle schools, and the diploma program and career program, which is the phase that goes into the high school. And if the students begin at this stage where we're at right now, the future is extremely bright for them.
One of the most exciting parts for me was how much autonomy children have in this program. So our students are really they're so capable of so many things. And when they're given the right tools and environment and just facilitation, guidance, they have it in them to do amazing and great things. So in an environment like this, with this particular program, they're going to be able to go far. And I can't wait to see how far they go here in Harlingen. So we are so excited, as you can see, students and staff alike, about this program. Our next steps that we're looking at in order to become a world school, we do have trainings upcoming because the entire staff is required to be trained in May. We also are continuously educating throughout to support that upcoming training to make sure that we have a responsible rollout all through the spring semester and beyond. So through our professional learning community on campus is how we're doing that as well. The teachers also will get to visit other IB PYP campuses during the spring semester. We were excited to be able to see one that was also a dual language academy and successful. So it was very fantastic to see that in action, and we can't wait to implement that here. And also we will begin to develop those units of inquiry in a workshop in the summer. Our goal, although we do have more than a year to prepare, our goal is to apply for World School, submit our application in the fall of 2019. So that is our goal. Thank you so much for allowing us this opportunity to share a little bit of our world with you. I would be remiss if I did not recognize Mrs. Romero, our Assistant Superintendent for Elementary Education, Mrs. Parker, our Director for Advanced Academic Services, and Mrs. Juarez, our IB Specialist, who have been so supportive in this endeavor. Also want to recognize our staff members who are here, Mrs. Manning, our Assistant Principal, Mrs. De La Cruz, our instructional coach, and two of our team members from our instructional focus team, Mrs. Banda and Mrs. Shimotsu. I know I saw you here, that's right. Also, our fantastic counselor, Mrs. Silva, who has already begun implementing multiple aspects of the IB PYP into our counseling and guidance programs. We're excited to see that. And of course, we are excited that all of our teachers are such a great group of members who really are excited about children, are looking forward to providing such a wonderful opportunity to our students. Thank you again for your time, and I welcome any questions or comments that you have.
Mrs. Fleury.
Yes, well, Mrs. Armstrong.
I thought I might.
Surprise.
Tonight is an evening of dreams come true. You know, just as Dr. Pettis, I'm sure, has been waiting for years and years and years to be able to be in a position to see what's happening that we addressed earlier this evening. Some of us have been waiting equally long years to see IB come back to Harlingen. You know, we had IB in Harlingen High School for a couple of years, and our daughter happened to be fortunate enough to be in that. And so those of us who have experienced that realize that there is a significant difference in an IB program, and I was so pleased to see you elucidate all of these. I mean, I think that was a really wonderful program, and I want to thank you for educating us about all of that. And I'm sure that you've heard that the students who have an opportunity are different. You know, they are different. They see the world differently, and I cannot think of a time ever in my history when it has been more important that we start educating children from a very young age to be able to participate in working with others. We have only to look at our own country and all the problems that we're dealing with right now, but to look at France, which breaks my heart. And I was speaking to someone about how tragic the situation is in France right now, and she said, my mother is from Denmark, and the same thing is happening in Denmark. And today I heard, and you know, there are problems right now in Germany, that this is spreading across the world. And I think that nothing could prepare us better to avoid these kinds of problems and to be able to raise children in such a way that they will be able to be positive contributors and participants in the entire world than having the IB program and beginning at, yes, a very early age, and certainly we do need to expand it on. This is important, Dr. Cavazos, far more important than even I, the dreamer, ever realized it would be, because of what's happening in our world right now. We cannot continue this polarization And, you know, we've gone from positive protesting in countries such as France, which have had that since the French Revolution as a way for people to express their points of view in a safe way. And it's now become rioting. You know, we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to raise children in such a way that they are knowledgeable about problem solving, so that they can be contributors to positive lives in this world. I'm sorry to be so preachy, but it's just struck me tonight of the timing of bringing this to our students and how incredibly brilliant our leadership is to bring this here. And I am so proud of the way your school and Austin Elementary have embraced this opportunity. I'm so proud that your extraordinarily strong teachers are really excited about this. So thank you for taking the time to choose to highlight this for us tonight. And we are so supportive of what you're doing, and we want to help in any way we can. So thank you, Dr. Cavazos, and thank you, Mrs. Armstrong, and please share the enthusiasm with all of Sam Houston and Austin Elementary. I cannot wait, and I only hope to live long enough to see the difference, the impact that this is going to have on our world. And your children were precious. Thank you.
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
I just want to not echo everything that Jerry said. A little scary, but I do want to just say that if we could bottle the enthusiasm of these individuals, if we can bottle their love of learning, if we could bottle the excitement that they have every single day that they go to class, every individual, especially in the elementary level, they're excited to wake up every day to go to school. They're excited to have breakfast and be with their friends. They're excited about learning something new every single day. If we can bottle all that and put that in the middle school and then in the high school, and we're doing some great things in the middle school and high school, but if we can bottle the naiveness of that age, the excitement of learning, the excitement of listening to the adults that know what's better for them. Gosh, it's exciting right now what you're doing. It's exciting what all of our schools are doing, and seeing these young girls and boys talking. They're talking with passion. They're talking with their heart, and they're sincere. They're not. It wasn't script. You didn't tell them what to say, what to do. They were talking from here, and it's just encouraging when you see these little stories. And we've had it last month and the month before. These kids are excited about learning. They're excited. You all are doing something right, and what you're doing is planting the seed in each and every single one of these individuals, and it's going to be a transition where they're going to go from elementary to middle school to high school, and then transition to kind of some of the things that we saw today with UTRGV. It's exciting times, but we can't get our foot off the pedal. You have to continue to do the great things that you're doing, because every year it's different children waiting to get the opportunity to learn the great things that you do with the children the year before. So great job, fantastic work. Keep up the good job, because it's not only the children that are depending on you, it's their parents, it's the community, it's the United States, and like Jerry said, it affects everybody in the world. So great work, fantastic staff for everything you do. You're only as good as the people around you, and you have a fantastic staff around you. Congratulations.
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
So I just found it kind of interesting how this worldly based learning is actually at our two schools, Houston and I know it's Sam Houston, but Houston and Austin. I just thought that was kind of interesting. But anyway, maybe I had too much coffee. I apologize.
Let's move on.
But do I have to shut up now? I have stuff.
No, you can.
Well, and I agree with all the comments. Let me just a couple of reflections. First of all, for me, this is yet another example how it's all about choice, right? And how we are creating a model school district in Harlingen, creating different small learning communities and different types of, choices for parents and students, and people will find their own fit, right? I wanted to mention to the young lady, your student that gave the pledge tonight, and I think she left. But I wanted to mention to her, but Greg so eloquently gave her praise. But I wanted to tell her she's going to have not double, but she's going to have way more opportunities because she's in a dual language program, and because she's going to have command of at least two languages, and so that's amazing. But I have to admit that I had this impression of IB, and I wasn't really knowledgeable on this, but I had this impression from talking to other folks over the years, and maybe it's the degree program. I'm not sure this really structured learning they have at some of the, and maybe it shows my age, but I have to admit that a lot of that type of learning, I thought was a little bit sort of drill and kill and type of, things that sort of gotten us into a lot of trouble. And, medical schools like my previous medical school and folk across the country, and some engineering schools, and, pharmacy schools, and on. These professional type schools have been put on probation because it was drill and kill and this and that, whatever. It wasn't about problem-based learning, collaborative learning. It wasn't about, but to hear you give the presentation, you blew my mind. I mean, in terms of this type of pedagogy, the inquiry-based, and the whole transdisciplinary learning, and the soft skills that you incorporate and all this kind of stuff. I mean, really impressed with that, and I just hope that it continues to the middle school and, of course, the degree program, because I'm just really, really inspired by it, and I hope that it expands to more camp. I know it's hard. I know it's not a easy undertaking, right, in terms of the application of the whole process and everything else, but I just want to applaud you all for the hard work you're doing, and even, the brilliance of combining it with the dual language academy, dual language program. I mean, that just takes it to like another level right there. And so really, really proud of the work you're doing. I learned a lot tonight. Thank you, and great presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Pettis.
Really quick, I think the key word today, and it might come up again, is the word relationships and relationship. And I saw a bunch of students there in that video that, they're taking a lot of pride in having that IB designation. And I'm sure that and I saw the videos when they announced it, and everybody went crazy, and it was a lot of fun. It was a very fun video to watch. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there. But I think it's taken a lot from you and your staff to explain what IB is. But what I saw was that they took a lot of pride in saying, hey, we're an IB school. And that comes from you all, and that comes down. And it builds those relationships that already at a young age are going to be very important as they move into middle school and high school and beyond. I mean, we had a little girl or a high school senior say she was going to Canada for school. So we're not just staying in Texas. We're not just staying in the United States. So I want to thank you all for that, because like Dr. Pettis said, I learned a lot even just today about what you guys are doing there at the school, which I'm sure they're doing at Austin as well. But that took a lot from you all to be able to explain what that designation was, and help build those relationships, help those students at a young age walk down the hallway holding hands, and take pride in being from Sam Houston and having that designation. So I want to thank you all for putting in the extra work, putting in the effort to passing on that passion and that pride for what you guys are doing there now. Thank you.
Dr. Nunez?
Congratulations, excellent presentation. I have had the opportunity of visiting an IB school, and it's hard to explain exactly what everybody's saying unless you're in it and see the knowledge and the experience and have a conversation with the students. It blows you away. It was middle school students that I was talking to, and the way they grasp problems is totally different. It's not very structural. It's more of like a bigger picture type of answer and questioning. And there's no wrong answer too. Sometimes it's like, so it's beautiful to see that. And you did an excellent job with the kids in the video showing us the potential. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Great job, Ginger.
Good job.
We can't wait. We're excited.
Please hurry. Okay, our next item on the agenda is Dr. Cavazos' favorite one, public comments. None? Oh, too bad.
I'll give one if you
All
want.
right. All right, sorry, Art. It's Christmas. All right. The next item is the approval of the consent calendar. Do I have a motion?
Mr. President, make a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
Second?
Moved by Mr. De Leon, seconded by Mr. Hymas. Is there any discussion on the consent agenda? Any items anybody wants to pull out? If there aren't, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. The next item. Do we want to go back on that one?
No.
Okay. The next item is item number 7, matters related to transformation and school support. Dr. Noyola, please.
Thank you, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, senior team and audience. So before I address our report, I do want to take a minute to highlight somebody from Shane's department, and that's Brandon Castellanos. Brandon is the one that puts together these videos for our principal's report, and he does such a fantastic job in capturing the essence of what we're wanting to communicate. And, you know, he takes a lot of video, and then he goes through and identifies what are those essential things that will really communicate the essence of what we're trying to share with the board and our community. So Shane, I know he's not here, but if you will absolutely give him a thank you for that. He does phenomenal work. So I want to move on to our Transforming Teaching and Learning Committee report. So last week we had 2 presentations, one of which was highlighted earlier this evening as we talked about our high school to medical school partnership with UTRGV. That presentation was conducted by Veronica Corton, our Administrator for Organizational Development. The presentation was titled High School to Medical School, Expanding the UTRGV Partnership to Make the Difference. So Mrs. Corton began the presentation by introducing the goals of the program, the goal of the partnership. As part of that presentation, we were fortunate enough to have Dr. Sarah Nair here with us from UTRGV. And so she, along with Veronica, presented the goals of the program, but also some of the early plans that are in place as we hash out the framework for this. So obviously tonight's letter of intent was highlighting what will come. And so over the next period of time, as we start to get this partnership off the ground, they will be spending quite a bit of time in defining that framework. And so we're really excited at the work that will come from that. As many of you so eloquently mentioned, it's going to have a tremendous impact, not only on our students, but really our community. And if this framework, if we can do it right and make it work, we not only impact our community, but we'll also be impacting really the entire region and creating a framework where other students will also be able to benefit from the work that is coming. So absolutely Harlingen is a trailblazer in that work. So very exciting work coming forward. And so we'll certainly keep you up to date on how that's coming along. The second presentation was done by Julio Cavazos, our Chief Financial Officer. His presentation was titled Strategic Alignment of Instructional and Fiscal Calendars. So as part of his presentation, he highlighted the Realizing Our Dreams scorecard, and he cited some of the key performance outcomes, specifically looking at academic readiness. And so he highlighted how that really has become the compelling reason behind why we are looking to adjust our or align our fiscal calendar with our instructional calendar. As you all know, our school year has started much earlier as we moved into our District of Innovation. And so it was critical that our administrators at the campus level be able to have the funds that they need to be able to address the start of the school year and put in place all the things that they need to in order for our students to have a successful start. And so as part of his presentation, he outlined that we are going to be looking to change our fiscal calendar to begin on July 1st. He outlined some of the steps that will come in making that happen. We are going to be looking to make a change in policy to change that fiscal calendar, and so that is on our agenda for later tonight. Those were our 2 presentations from Transforming Teaching and Learning. Dr. Pettis chairs that committee, so Dr. Pettis, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, thank you. I just want to again remind folks of the significance of tonight with that first that first topic you mentioned with the high school and medical school partnership with UTRGV School of Medicine. I do want to mention that I know that y'all will figure out a way to make this just a huge home run, and one that'll undoubtedly be replicated by other schools, not only in this region but across the state and other places in this country. But I can tell you that we ought to find a way to include all our high schools, right, in some way, because we have amazing students that are perhaps wanting to major in liberal arts and other kinds of things that even came up in Dr. Nair's comments about how these students are sometimes such a gem when you're interviewing these students, when you actually kind of get a more well-rounded, normal person in front of you who is a liberal arts or communications director or what have you, but also, just knocked out of the park, the MCAT, and has all the science as well, but they're just a well-rounded, holistic student, and these kinds of students are amazing, and so I'm sure we'll figure out a way to include all of our students in some way if we have that chance to do that. Secondly, and again, thanks Dr. Cavazos and Cortan and Noyola for your leadership. And it's clear to me that UTRGV and the School of Medicine now, this is just, they're the sort of come latelys, right? But UTRGV has such high confidence in our leadership in this district, thanks to you all. So we really appreciate all, and all of you, everybody sitting out there, y'all are assistant superintendents. It's just really clear that they have so much trust in our leadership. So thank you all for that. As far as the second, I'm just amazed that innovation is at every nook and cranny in this district. You know what I mean? And it's just incredible. And so it's not just in the classrooms with partnerships, with collaborations, with collective impact stuff. It's just, and so not even, Julio sleeps at night thinking about different ways he can save us money and create money and stuff. I hope he doesn't make any money. We don't want to get in that. No. But thank you for that. I know that we're under the time crunch to approve this by June 30th. But I can, again, the board hasn't taken action, but I just want to comment on the brilliance of the innovation. And I want to comment that remind folks that there were significantly more pros than cons in terms of to doing this. It seemed like this is going to help, everything in the classrooms, what we're all about for our students. So thank you for bringing this to the board, Julio. Great job, and that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Dr. Pettis. Any other comments? All right. Thank you, Dr. Noyola. The next item on the agenda is the approval of out-of-state trip for Harlingen High School South speech drama debate team to attend the Harvard National Forensics Tournament in Cambridge, Massachusetts on February 16th through the 18th, 2019. Ms. Conley.
Our 6A state champ.
And Stephen.
Right.
Super nice.
Good evening, Mr. President, Board Trustees, Dr. Cavazos, administration, audience, senior team who's here. I'm Stephen Kalick. I'm the assistant speech drama debate coach at South. This is my boss.
And don't forget it, right, Megan?
Her boss.
And we're here tonight asking for permission to attend the 45th annual Harvard Invitational that's going to be held February 16th through the 18th. This is a very prestigious tournament where our students really get to see, they get an edge on what they're going to see in June at nationals. Usually, students who final at this tournament, it's a good, observation on who's going to be at the top at nationals in June. So we're here tonight seeking approval for this tournament with some criteria in place.
So the criteria right now is the student either has to have 2 state qualifications for the TFA tournament that's going to be in Houston this year. So they need to be qualified in 2 events, or they need to have their NITOC bid, the National Individual Events Tournament of Champions, which is an annual tournament. This year it's going to be in Omaha, and you have to have 2 bids. So you have to go to 2 NITOC qualified tournaments and do well enough to get 2 bids from there. As of today, we have 8 students that are qualified.
Wow.
We are anticipating possibly 10 to maybe 12, depending on how well we do at the next couple tournaments.
Right.
So I think this would be a really great opportunity for the children, the students, to go there and get really tough competition and see how well we stack up at a national level. It also would mean a lot to me because unlike the smart students that we have, it's my only chance to go to Harvard. So that would be really great for me.
Mr. President.
Who's your boss again?
Yeah.
Megan, get him under
I know.
control, Megan.
Mr. President,
You move for
I did note the loosening of the qualifications for the instructors. However, I do move approval for the out-of-state trip for the Harlingen High School South Speech Drama Debate Team to attend the Harvard National Forensics Tournament in Cambridge, Massachusetts on February 16th to the 18th, 2019.
I second.
All right, moved by Dr. Pettis, seconded by Dr. Reiniger. You have some returning veterans this year too, don't you, that are going back?
Yes, we do. John Duncan,
Yeah.
Natalie Pettis will be qualified again this year. From last year.
Yeah, some freshmen we have.
A
that
couple
will be
freshmen
going
will get the
that are
opportunity to
already
go, which is
qualified.
very rare.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But then y'all did really well last year too, so, I mean, you know you have the support of this board, so, but we'll vote anyway.
That'd be good.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, all right, unanimously.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your
Good luck.
continued support. And we'd like to say a special thank you to Mrs. Ince, who really paved the way for our organization and all of the speech organizations in HCISD.
And also Mr. Villarreal, who has been a great advocate for us and our team and everything that we do. So we couldn't be here without both of them.
He doesn't even go to other
Did he
events.
pay you
just
to
goes
say that, Stephen? Did he pay you?
And also Dr. Cavazos.
Thank you. That was an afterthought, Stephen.
Are this
Great
like,
job,
is
guys.
this like evaluation time?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, our next item is matters related to business services. First item is consideration and approval of fiscal year start date. Mr. Julio Cavazos.
Thank you, Mr. Powers, Dr. Cavazos, board members. Agenda item 9A is consideration and approval of fiscal year start date. We're asking the board to modify our fiscal year from a September 1st start date to a July 1st start date. Since we are beginning our academic year early in August, we felt it was time for us to consider changing our fiscal year. This will allow campuses and departments access to their budgeted dollars in July as opposed to September. This will help in making sure that they have everything they need the first day of class. We did discuss this in detail at our transformation and school support meeting last week. Be glad to answer any questions the board might have.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion for approval of the change in the fiscal year start date.
Second.
Okay, it's moved by Dr. McGee, seconded by Mr. Hymas. Is there any further discussion on this item? All right, those all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion carries unanimously. The next item is the approval and recommendation of revision of policy CE local annual operating budget on first reading only. Mr. Julio Cavazos.
Thank you, Mr. Powers, Dr. Cavazos, the board members. Agenda item 9B is consideration and approval to revise policy, local policy CE local. Since we are changing our fiscal year from July 1st to June 30th, we need to revise this policy, which has, September 1st to August 31st. Again, we discussed this also in a transformation meeting last week. We have to revise our policy as well as submitting that form to TA on the fiscal year start date. We recommend approval.
Do I have a motion? Moved by Mr.
Mr. President, I make a motion for approval and recommend the revision of the policy CE annual operating budget on the first reading as recommended by administration.
I second the motion.
Moved by Mr. De Leon and seconded by Mrs. Fleury. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries unanimously. The next item is matters related to human services. Consideration and approval of voluntary teacher incentive agreement for early notification of resignation of employment. Mrs. Corton.
Mr. Powers, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. We are here to bring forward the consideration and approval for the incentive agreement for the voluntary early notification of resignation from employment program, otherwise known as the 543. As you may recall, when we did our longitudinal data and looked at the most opportune time to fill vacancies, The 543 model allows us to do that early on in the school year or in the calendar year, so we can be well prepared for the following school year. The 543 model does call for early resignation incentives starting in January with a $500 incentive, $400 in February, and $300 in March.
American dollars?
American dollars, yes.
Mr. President, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
And is this, it says notification of resignation from employment.
Yes, sir.
So is that anybody that just retires or someone that transferred to another school?
Not board members have yet, no.
No?
$500 January. No.
So if
It's
someone-
actually for campus-based employees who are going to resign from their position with the school district.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't
So-
matter if they're retiring or they're
Right.
just, they received another job to another ISD. They
If
still
their
qualify.
intent is not to return back next year, then if we have that resignation early on, it allows us to start filling the vacancies right away.
Did we expand that? Was that at the beginning?
Yes.
Just for retirees, and now we're expanding that?
No, we actually started just with teachers, and because we looked at other positions at the campus that impact campus operations, like the library media specialists, counselors, and so on, we expanded it to include anybody at the campus that are professionals at the campus.
Okay.
And it helps us. We've got, every year, we have about 40 or 45 individuals that come in. And so, working with Jennifer Herrera, she'll start filling those vacancies, and certainly working with Mrs. Scoggin and her team.
Yeah, no, I think it's a fantastic idea, and I think it's a fantastic incentive. I just wasn't clear if it was just for
Sure.
retirees or for anybody that lets us know. Thank
Anyone.
you for the clarification.
Yes, no problem.
Mr. President,
Dr. Pettis?
move approval of the voluntary teacher incentive agreement for super, I'm gonna add a word, super early notification of resignation from employment as presented.
Second?
Moved by Dr. Pettis, seconded by Mr. De Leon.
Just trying to help the talent acquisition.
I didn't want anybody to
Thank
think I was
you.
against it.
Super early.
I was waiting for
Thank
that.
you.
Naval. Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries unanimously. All right, the next item is matters related to district operations. Facility Committee report, Mr. Tapia.
President Powers, members of the board. We held a Facilities Committee meeting on December 4th. It was a very, very short meeting because we had other things to do, met other functions that night, so we made it brief. But I discussed the TRE program updates, starting with the Treasure Hills Elementary new classroom wing, how we have advanced out of the ground with all the piers have been poured. Now the slabs on top have been poured with all the underground foundations, plumbing and electrical conduits and then pipes, that chiller lines that we need to put underground. So we've made quite a bit of progress. The weather has really held up and helped us in that. Then I discussed about we're continuing to work with the school administration on the phase 2 for the next part of the project. We also discussed the security fencing project at our 2 high schools in Kano Academy, starting with all the underground trenching work that we'll need for electrical lines and data lines for our automatic gate systems at all our entries and exits. We discussed the Dixieland's and Keys softball field improvements with the slabs we're putting for the additional bleachers out in the outfield, so we can increase our seating capacity at our softball fields at both locations. And that work, the final bleachers will be done during the Christmas holidays. We also discussed the elementary school surveillance cameras. We're adding additional 5 to 7 cameras per elementary in addition to the original one we did last year. And we're about 60% complete, and we'll give an update after the holidays. That should be pretty close to finalizing that project. We then turned the report over to Julio Cavazos, who gave a report on the financial report for all the construction projects, and that was pretty much it. I'll now turn it over to our facilities chair, which is Mr. Jaimes.
Thank you, Oscar. I just want to say it was a short committee meeting, but if there's anybody that's really busy in this district, it's Oscar and his people, and they're doing a lot of good work. So I just want to thank you for that, because the community sees that. The community sees. They may not see the little things that are inside the classroom, but they see the fencing going up. They see the extra seats at the softball fields, or these are things that kind of help us explain to the community visibly what we're doing. So you all just keep up the good work. You guys are doing a lot of good work for the school district and for the community. So thank you.
Mr. Jaimes.
Thank you, Oscar. Okay, the next item is we're going to move to adjourn into close or executive session pursuant to the Texas Government Code Sections 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, and 551.082 of the Open Meetings Act for the following purposes. The first one is consultation with legal counsel concerning pending litigation, including matters style Travelers Casualty and Surety Company of America versus HCISD. And then the next item is to discuss the purchase of real estate. And the third item is to discuss the employment of teachers and other professional staff. At this time, we are adjourned into closed session. The first item we're going to do is to consider and take action regarding the possible resolution and retaining of legal counsel for Travelers Casualty and Surety Company of America versus HCISD in the Southern District of Texas, McAllen Division. Do I have a motion?
Mr. President, I would first like to say that I will be abstaining.
All right, let the record reflect that Mrs. Fleury will abstain from voting on this matter.
Mr. President,
Dr. Pettis.
I move that the district authorize the superintendent to engage in settlement negotiations as discussed in executive session regarding the Travelers Casualty and Surety Company of America versus HCISD CA 716 CV 00411 in the U.S. District Court, Southern District of Texas, McAllen Division, and retain legal counsel for coverage issues as deemed necessary, and authorize the superintendent to execute all necessary documents to resolve this matter as discussed in executive session.
Second.
Okay. Moved by Dr. Pettis and seconded by Dr. Reiniger. Is there any further discussion on this matter? If there is none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the motion carries unanimously.
And I abstained.
I'm
Yes,
sorry,
that's
excuse me,
correct.
with
That's
one
correct.
abstention.
Thank you.
Motion carried with one abstention. All right. The next item is to consider and take action regarding purchase of real estate. Do I have a motion?
Mr. President, I move that we take possible action regarding purchase of real estate as discussed in executive session.
Second.
Okay, it's moved by Dr. Reiniger and seconded by Mr. Hymas. Is there any further discussion on this matter? If there's none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And this motion does carry unanimously. The last motion is to consider the employment of teachers and other professional staff.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion for the employment of teachers and other professional staff as recommended by senior team, Dr. Cavazos.
All right, do I have a second?
My second motion.
Who second?
Mr. De Leon, second.
Mr. De Leon, he's been active tonight. Okay. All right, it's been moved by Dr. Muniz and seconded by Mr. De Leon. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion carries unanimously. We,
You guys didn't close the meeting.
please, we have to respect and decorum here. At this time, we will stand adjourned.